I did not warn them. I'm sorry. I warned the ones in the back.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. The Romulus Central School District Board of Education meets to publicly conduct its business in accordance with the law. The public is invited to observe these proceedings, but is not entitled to respond or disrupt them. especially when such disturbances run counter to the district's code of conduct and the welcoming spirit of our district. The public is reminded of the context of board meetings. Board members are volunteers, audience members are visitors to school grounds, and student and staff well-being is at the heart of board operations. Visitors are reminded of the courage it takes to speak up as members of our community and the importance of encouraging civic and civil engagement. The board strives to hear all community voices during its public meetings in a safe, respectful, and orderly manner. The behavior that we expect of all students in our classrooms is also expected from visitors at board meetings. In an effort to ensure that community members' concerns are heard, the board reminds speakers to address the board in a civil manner, refrain from discussing specific personnel or students, limit outbursts, and limit unnecessary noise. The board encourages an atmosphere of respect and tolerance and strict adherence to its code of conduct. We will now move into our public comments, and I have a brief statement to share with you regarding public comments. The Romulus Central School District Board of Education invites public comment at this time to those who have signed up in advance with the district clerk. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Written remarks may be provided to the board if time expires before a speaker completes their remarks. We ask individuals to state their name prior to comments and to provide the district clerk with their contact information for purposes of follow-up. Although the board will not respond directly to individual comments at this time, items brought to the attention of the board may be taken under consideration for future response, action, or follow-up with the speaker. Issues related to specific district students, whether positive, negative, or neutral, must be brought to the attention of the superintendent of schools privately in order to safeguard student privacy. The board reserves the right to terminate a speaker's comments if their comments are in excess of 5 minutes, are repetitive, or are not appropriate for discussion in an open public forum. All visitors are reminded to abide by the district code of conduct and to be respectful and courteous, both as speakers and as audience members. We are a community focused on bettering public education for our students, some of whom may be present. Thank you. We will now open the floor for public comments. I do have public comments that have been requested in advance. Are they coming through?
We've got a mic down here. If folks want to use it, they will.
Yep, if you would like to use the microphone, you're welcome to do so. It's located right here. Our first public speaker is Ms. Jen Salone.
President Bateman, Superintendent Ratz, board members, faculty, staff, public, parents, thank you for having us here. I'm Jen Salone. I'm a lifelong member of this community, Romulus graduate, and a mother of a 9th grade student here at Romulus. I've come before this board before with concerns both on behalf of myself and my son, and also on behalf of teachers, staff, and other parents in this district. I know the question has always been, why is Jen Salone speaking for other people, and where are all of these other people that she speaks of? I've answered this multiple times to this board, and I'll do so again tonight for the board and also for the public. I'm not afraid, period. I'm not afraid to speak up. And I'm definitely not afraid to speak up on behalf of those who are scared to speak up. My advocacy for others here in this community is based upon personal experiences, facts, and basic human decency. You stand up for those who may not be able to stand up for themselves. There are individuals in this building who have labeled me in a negative way. I'm okay with that, because to me it just solidifies that I'm doing the right thing and the just thing. This board has stood behind procedure, and I respect that. But I feel that you've turned a blind eye to my pleas for discussion, transparency, and change before it's had to come to this. You don't have to believe me when I say that there are other teachers, staff, parents, and students in this district who fear when they enter through those doors. But I hope that after tonight they feel a little safer to come forward, and then you'll have your proof. I'm here tonight to tell you that I've worked tirelessly to ensure protection for all those who have reached out to me. and since yesterday, the numbers have only doubled. I continue to do so, and once this board and the teachers union can make a promise that those who have bravely come forward will be protected and change will be implemented, I believe you're going to be amazed and somewhat ashamed at the number of individuals who appear before you. With that said, I'm going to read a message I received from a teacher recently here at RCS. This message has been redacted quite a bit, but I think the message will still come through clearly. The message has been redacted to protect the teacher's anonymity, so please excuse me if at times it doesn't flow. I think you'll still get the message. Hello, Jen. I wanted to reach out first and foremost to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So many of us, 10 plus just in the last couple of days, I have spoken with lately here at school, appreciate you for what you're doing for us, the students, and the overall well-being of the school. It is sad that we are so afraid to say anything because of what happens if we do. I am trying to balance being a good teacher. I can't handle them coming after me. That is why my name can't be attached. I do want you to know from the perspective of someone who works here what is going on. We are a very split up district on purpose that have been treated poorly, for lack of a better word, for so long that some have accepted it as the norm. For example, we have heard time and time again that it is just this individual, it is just how this individual operates when trying to address issues. As if we are supposed to turn a blind eye to the behavior exhibited because it's just this individual. For so long, we have tolerated intolerable behavior because we are all led to believe it is like that at every school. I have even heard that a colleague said to another colleague, if you don't like it, you're free to go somewhere else. Some have had enough and left. 2 good teachers with 10 years of experience in just the last 3 years. Why should turmoil? Why does the statement come out of someone instead of, wow, what is going on behind these walls and what can we do?
The culture of the school because things are good. The survey that had over 20 staff members give honest feedback about different issues here at school, with over 75% or more of them being negative, then what? We are left feeling like our voice doesn't matter. And some people feel defeated again and think, why bother to speak up when it doesn't matter? Please know what you are doing isn't going unnoticed, and it is appreciated more than you know. So many of us for the first time feel supported by you and others, and we can never thank you enough. Sorry again for not being able to use my name, but maybe sometime in the future that might be different. Now, I don't know why she wasn't allowed to say that, why she was silenced, why we can't hear from the people that this board is supposed to be representing. I advocate for people for a living, it's my job. But when it comes to home, I am much like a lot of people. I feel like, oh, maybe if I just be quiet, it'll be okay for my child, for my family. Well, I've had enough. We have been advised time and handled differently. When are we going to stop saying we're going to handle things differently and handle things differently? When are we going to take action? When are we going to have the transparency that is required
To the board for our review.
And we would get answers to the questions I asked sometimes?
Cindy Lorenzetti is our next public comment.
Is this on? Important job. And the thing that y'all have to realize is you're here for these people, not the administrators, you're here for the people that pay the taxes and send their children here. I got involved, not because one person called and asked me. I had a few people call in the community and say, would you help us out? Would you come and support us speaking to the board? I'd be more than happy to, because you know what? I heard the same stories over and over again, not from one person, but from many people. People that I grew up with, people that I trust. So, on speaking. By New York State Government Code number 549543. And people that don't want to hear the truth are usually people that are trying to hide something. Hearing the same stories over and over and over again, and knowing you look at the people allegedly that are having the same complaints about the same people, you're never going to know. So I call on this board for you tonight to make a motion, one of you, vote on it, do it in public, so we know who's committed to this school and who isn't. Do I have any time?
You do.
I do?
1 minute, 42 seconds.
If there's anything that anybody asked me to do, I was a member of. Current member, I'm currently a trustee on RFEO. And I absolutely believe in the power and the value of this district and its staff and its people. I have a vested interest in the success of the district. I've lived here for over 30 years. I expect to live here for a lot longer, and I really want to respectfully ask the board to specifically believe that we have to make sure that the board is focused on the top level. The administrators are allowed to do their job. If there's a specific issue, I have worked off and on with these administrators over the years. I understand that there can be personal issues. I understand that there can be things that people are concerned about. The staff has 2 unions, right? I think there's 2, right? That they can, 3, okay, 3 unions that they can use to elevate some of their concerns. There is definitely a place for the school board to do the oversight, the administration to do their job, the staff to do their job. And I'm very
We will not be having an executive session at the beginning of the meeting. Announcements and reports. The next regular meeting of the board will be Tuesday, February 13th at 6:30 in the Board of Education conference room, which is in the
They don't have access. We have a lot of district residents who don't have access. How do we keep them so we have full transparency in the superintendent's search?
We do have representatives from our appointed search committee team here, so I'm going to refer this question to Shannon.
We have the draft ready to go. We'll share tomorrow, so stay tuned.
So when?
We'll share the draft with the board tomorrow.
Is it the goal to be a little more timely? I mean, we communicated it on Facebook and Sharon is aware, but that was 2 weeks ago. So a lot of district residents who don't have access to the internet don't know anything about this. Can we get it closer together when we start communicating electronically with the other one?
Every day lunchtime, she's like, lunchtime, I'm not going. Well, there's parts about her day that she like look forward to that. I'm like, I was a kid at home last night, worried about what I've been doing in school. So it's great to see that, she really enjoys her time. So I want to thank the staff that they've done a great job. She has a great time in school, not only learning.
To overcome things. We've had a lot of families in our district that have had personal tragedies, struggles across the entire spectrum that you can struggle with: health, financial, familial, socially, everything. You think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We're hitting the whole triangle with our community. So I think it's amazing to see the resilience and the great task force that have come forth. So thank you for the reminder of that. Any other board members? Thank you. Mr. Roth will now share his superintendent's report.
Thank you. Not only are we transitioning off the use of about $2 million over the last 3 years, which we have used 3/4 of for one-time purchases that don't carry over into future budgets. We still do have about 25% of that $2 million figure that is included in the first look at next year's budget. All right, so that's one transition that's taking place this year. So 25% of $2 million, right, $500,000. That is a number that we've worked with in the past, that we've balanced budgets with in the past, between tax increase, the levy, right, between use of reserves, between the ability to make efficiencies and lower costs where we can. However, to take the change in the aid formula in 1 year, that's actually realistic to expect to make up at the voting, right, tax line. So we need to look for other efficiencies if this number is going to stand. So the final steps down at the bottom, I think where we're at, kind of starting tomorrow, looking at the difference between the expenses and the revenues is much, much larger than usual. So we need to look at all parts of the operation to see where we can find savings. If that persists through April, we'll be making some difficult decisions between now and April 9th together with the budget. So in addition to that meeting that takes place with our supervisors and our this is what's happening to districts that have been safe harmless, like Romulus. Of the 4 districts in Seneca County, 2 of the districts are losing significant, I'll call this predicted state aid, and 2 are not. So it all depends on how the formula applies to your school district. The other 2 districts were not safe harmless districts in the first place, so this shift
to run the school. We appoint the superintendent that runs the school. We set the budget within which the administration is charged with operating within the confines, the context of that budget. And then we also establish policy. Again, establish the policy. The administration is responsible for following it. So tonight, might as well load it all up, right? We've got superintendent search that we are focused on. We have the budgetary changes with a $500,000 reduction that we very quickly need to find.
Reservations are, maybe we could hold off on creating that position a little bit longer, or
It's just on the roster, it's not actually creating the position, because it is a canvas, this is a CF, or it's a union canvas position.
With, as we roll out the budget, we don't have to appoint someone to this position. This is just simply posting it so that it can be, filled if we needed to start the steps of that.
removing services.
It's a reduction in shared services, so it would be a savings to the district. It's insourcing, Mr. House, bringing it back in-house. And, the hope too would be that we would have better service from that by having someone that would be solely focused on Romulus' needs. So, thank you, good discussion. Any more discussion? I definitely want a safe environment for the kids. Know that there's a lot of recording and data with, you know, having students using firearms. You know, it's definitely safe. There's a lot of protocols and requirements around it. So I can see, you know, definitely feel that a co-advisor is needed. Any other discussion?
Yeah, to the one that is called the